arriving. We're going to take a live look at downtown Anchorage to see those driving conditions. Rain falling on top of ice. Those roads are expected to get worse as we head into the weekend. We'll get to our team of reporters live from Anchorage and Fairbanks. But first, Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry has the latest conditions.
Yeah, Rebecca, some parts of Alaska look much more like fall or spring and nothing like winter, while others are very much seeing extreme winter conditions. So let's get right to those warnings and the impacts that I'm expecting here over the next 36 hours. Again, this steady plume of moisture moving in here from the southwest, impacting everyone from the Yukon Delta to South Central, from the interior to the slope, but not impacting southeast or the far northwest corner of the state. Everyone else under those alerts, and you do need to be prepared again for these extreme conditions. We're talking high winds, snow and ice, winter storm warnings for heavy snow with the areas highlighted in pink, and then major flooding concerns across most of South Central already starting tonight. Now here's a look at some of those specifics for Anchorage. We've been seeing the strong winds through the day. Those increase tonight into tomorrow. The Anchorage upper hillside, turning an arm, and the Alaska range under a high wind warning for gusts to 70 miles per hour. Brooks Range, eastern Aleutians also seeing those extreme winds, and Anchorage in the lower elevations, the Matsu, the interior mountains, and Bethel, you need to be prepared for gusts to 50 miles per hour. So a lot of wind across the state, but also a lot of snow. Kuskokwim Delta, especially inland, we're looking at more than 2 feet of snow with this storm. South Denali in the eastern Alaska range up to 20 inches. The lower Kuskokwim Valley, the eastern Aleutians, and those higher elevations of the interior up to 15 inches of snow. Also seeing that snow into the Brooks Range. But in South Central, the concerns all from rain because it's too warm for snow. Again, 1 to 6 inches of rain here across South Central. We'll also see rain ongoing across the interior. Temperatures are warming. They're going to stay warm through the weekend. And I'll have much more specifics on the timing, how long this will last, and that full statewide forecast here in a few minutes. Also, we want to go first to Fairbanks, where we've seen that rain ongoing most of the day. One check in with Adrian Peterson through the Fairbanks area. Adrian, I hear it's pretty tough to get around because of the rain on top of the ice.
I've got my cleats on here, and I'm off of South Christmas Street, and it is that slick that I need those cleats. And that is because Fairbanks does not usually deal with this kind of ice. There's usually a lot more snow here, and that was the case yesterday and the days before. Now this scene is wet and icy. As Golden Valley Electric tells us, these conditions have caused nearly 700 people to lose power, mostly on Chena Hot Springs Road and near Cantwell. Here's the type of information residents were telling us today.
It's scary, and I feel that everybody's doing a good job, it seems like. And I saw some bus drivers kind of rescue themselves, and if you don't have to drive, don't drive. And I tried to make it up to Skiland today, and I turned around at Pedro Monument. And so that's something else that affected me directly. Otherwise, I'd be skiing today. But the rain and the ice, it's scary outside. It's not a good thing to, to deal with, but it's pretty amazing Fairbanks continues to operate.
Now, Golden Valley Electric tells us that they have full operational crews out and about taking care of those outages, and they're even working down in Cantwell as well. Now, in Cantwell, where that avalanche was, DOT is hard at work on that, and the AST, being the Alaska State Troopers, are also on scene as well. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Flooding is a huge concern in Anchorage. Lauren Maxwell live in Midtown, and there's water pooling there already.
Yeah, water on top of ice. These neighborhood roads, particularly this one just off of 20th and Arctic, which also happens to be right by Chester Creek. It's kind of poised for a flood, I have to say. A lot of this water should be going down the storm drains, but a lot of those storm drains are also covered with ice. Now, for about the past week, the Muni has been working on thawing culverts, thawing out storm drains, making sure that the water has a clear path to go. It's also been surveying local creeks where a lot of this water will eventually end up.
So my biggest concern right now are the creeks. If we can keep the creeks moving, and if they don't get too high, then most of these areas can drain. But if these creeks rise up above the banks, then we're going to see probably some flooding all over town.
And he says the crews will be working around the clock at least through Sunday evening. And by the way, if you see flooding, particularly in your neighborhood, they do want you to call in. The number is 343-PLOW, 343-PLOW. That will get you to City Maintenance Dispatch, and they'll send a crew to come help. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's News Source.
Now is the time to download the Alaska's Weather Source app and the Weather app. You can get push alerts about danger and changing weather patterns.